Everyone can fill the gaps if I forget anything, but here's, I think, mostly what happened last session. We learned some more details about the big missing number that we had at the end of the previous session, learning that some of them were just kids that weren't around. Some of them were most definitely eaten. They found out that this guy who had killed himself was apparently also working on like his doctor thing, so that Lucy can make me feel extra bad about him killing himself. Stryker learned that the kid he cared about was not one of the victims, which made him feel a touch better. But he was like, I don't really want to talk to anyone. Fee, kind of seeing that, hoped to cheer him up by talking to her father about finally leasing an apartment for the two of them, while Variable hung out with Jim, the guy we met at the Halloween.
He had hung out with Jim over the few days, but the actual day the session started, it was
yeah,
he wasn't.
He didn't actually do that, but on the day of the session, he was kind of relaxing. He got a weird phone call that was just like, "Yo, dog, you need to dip like now." And he's like, what?
That's what he said.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm serious, run. And he's like, wait, can we like talk more? And he hung up. He's like, well, hey, Godfrey, I got a weird call saying we need to run. And then fucking Butler like kicked into action, took him, and was like, I'm already ready to go. And fucking like went down a Batman-esque like shoot to the garage where we learned that the car he drives strangely super reinforced for anything. The second they leave the house, some dudes come and like are firing like rockets at the house, like something like fucking ridiculous. And we're like, okay. And he decides probably should call my friends just in case things get worse. And Stryker had just seen the new apartment and was like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. His face touched the sheet, and they got the car. I don't know why I tried. He got on with Fee, got in the car, and we started driving away. More missiles, and respectfully, Fee and Stryker were like, what the actual fuck's going on? And Godfrey's like, well, we have a touch of a situation, and then the rocket hit the car and caused it to flip. And everyone's like, okay, maybe more than a touch. And through some good old variable luck shenanigans that actually worked. Funny that we mentioned his shit working today, because, did it. It led to the car flipping back conveniently and driving us safely into the lake at the park that apparently leads to an underground-like facility. At this point, both Stryker and Fee's heads are spinning over the sheer amount of wasted, unnecessary cash expenditures this family just does because in the safe house we were able to investigate more about the enemy, learning that they're wearing chainmail because these guys are the Templar. Which, I mean, Stryker didn't know what the Catholic Church was, so it's a very interesting day for him. And they're like, well, this could last for a couple weeks. He's like, I should call my boss. And he's like, well, the Catholic Church is after us. And it led to an interesting conversation with his boss that he learns that apparently the, priests go for little boys. And he's like, no, that's not what's happening with us. At least, I hope not. They're shooting at us with rocket launchers. And the boss went, oh. Well, good luck with that, kiddo. And, understandably, he called it, he then called the professor and was like, okay, so apparently this rocket launching boy chase organization called the Catholic Church is after us. And she's like, oh, wow, I thought they were, like, boring. And he's like, wait, what the hell? What part of this sounds boring? He's like, that's not how they usually look. And he's like, I don't know how you hide that. And she's like, well, it's been a long time. He's like, okay. And then he learned, we talked a bit more about the organization where apparently the Pope had been revived through like undead magics after Variable's mom killed. Huh? We learned that she stole a lot of shit. We learned that because Tommy found one of her secret caches by putting in the disc for Final Destination and then fast forwarding to her favorite part, which caused the entire thing to go up, and then a fucking bolt that needed like fingerprint analysis, and then was like, here's some of her shit. And Stryker's never felt more poor in his entire existence than watching that fucking contraption. But inside that was a couple of stuff, minor things like the staff with the bone of the second Christ. Don't know when number 2 came out, but apparently it was a good enough sequel that they want the bone back. We made a couple puns. I think they got a bone to pick with us. Fee got killed, and then Stryker replied, "You don't have to get so cross." And
I'm sorry I missed this.
It was amazing. It really was.
And he's like, "Well, I mean, I don't got better things to do when the professor gets bored and she reads puns, so eh." And he's like, "Okay, so maybe this weird staff will get them to like not want to kill him today. So you guys can train while I negotiate with them." Stryker went to just eviscerate some training dolls. He went to train her powers, and Thomas was like, "Oh, I know what I can do. I can try to find like useful armor and intel to help my friends." And he got a full hit, and turned out the cache was in his mother's room, where I cracked the joke of like, man, if you failed, maybe you find out like her secret stash of fetishes, and then you just really hate yourself. And we're like, and we all laughed. Man, I wish that's what he had found, because he said, he found the newspaper clipping that I told you about that was like, hey, a long time ago, a whole bunch of kids got kidnapped by your mom. 2 heroes were killed in the process, trying to save their kid. A kid who's pushing them on the ground, trying to get them to wake up. This looks a lot like Stryker. You have a conversation to have, don't you? And he's just like, okay, I'm going to fold this up and sit in. So he sat down and had himself a think. Stryker was like, all right, I'm out of dolls to destroy. Thomas is not here training. Let's see what's good. He goes to see him. He's like, man, you're really staring hard at that piece of paper, huh? And Thomas was just like, you know what? Let's not even try to, like, juke this one. And just handed the paper over, to which Stryker read and went, and had perhaps maybe 4 or 5 identity crises all at once, and just was like, okay, we're good. I'm not mad at you. I need to not be here, though. And he just took a walk as he was trying to, like, keep what was already a collapsing house of cards from lighting on fire. He felt a disturbance in the force, rather, a disturbance by the lack of force that was hitting the dolls. Noticed Stryker wasn't here anymore. Went and talked to Thomas, who also kind of was now falling apart in fear, and he was like, I can let you guys stay at my house. And he was like, I'll talk to him about that, I guess. But he's not like one for charity. He's like, I know, but like, my mom came after me. And he's like, oh, she's like, okay, you just, let's calm down. Let's eat some food. I'm here for you. You're obviously not handling this well. Stryker had a call with the professor. Hey, remember when I was like the weird boy chasing, rocket launching, apparently undead reviving organization that was after us? That was apparently going to be the best part of this month, because I'm getting hit with. And she's like, okay, well, I mean, I can help you look for your parents' files. it sounded like you're going to need a talk when we're done with this. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then this time, he found a different bed and decided, maybe I'll try to sleep on this one. At that point, Fee and Thomas had talked to Godfrey, learned the deal was good, but that Thomas had to give the staff to them in front of them. Fee was worried that some shit was going on, so she went to find Stryker. So about right when Stryker had about a minute, he had to get up again to help negotiate that trade where, basically we went out there, staff over, while this dude was like, I don't know, trying to like have a dick waving contest, like, oh, you haven't seen The Last of Us, this just make us even. I'm a mob character. And he's like, fucking, dude, this is the bottom of the list of things I care about right now. And the dude and they left, and he's like, well, that went better than we could all hope. And Stryker was just, damn it, this was the time to kill something. I had so much on my mind. And they're like, okay, go back down, talk to Godfrey. Stryker was like, hey, I don't care how you do it. I don't care really what methods need to happen. I want to speak to Thomas's mom. She deserves to give me at least an answer about why she killed my parents, since apparently on the newspaper, no one knows. And Godfrey was like, wait, what did parents? And Stryker stormed off. And he was like, hey, you might want to work on that one. Stryker may just kill you. And he's like, well, noted, I guess. And then on that happy note, basically, the session ended.
All right, so that was a lot of information just to get like the current events. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys were chased by the Catholic Church. You gave them back the staff that Thomas's mother had stolen and hidden in a crazy vault. Mm-hmm. And they're gone. They left.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
They left.
They that was actually after Thomas, just for revenge against the mom. But she happened to have that in the stash house, and so they're like, we'll take that for now, and it'll buy you some time, basically. They weren't actually after the staff initially. But they made that agreement to get that, and then they left. So basically saying, we're going to get you later now.
Basically, on the current threat analysis, we had the Templars for a second we dealt with. Really, the only thing that we're dealing with right now is significant mental damage.
Okay.
Apparently
both... Yeah, and Stryker were both kidnapped by Thomas's mother.
Yeah. He was all it. I forgot because she was so chill about it that I kind of slipped my mind. I guess her plans to be like, hey, Mom, Dad, apparently I got kidnapped a whole bunch of years ago and you guys said nothing about it? And Stryker just wants to find something out about his family. He's like, how the hell did this happen? How did a kid of two prominent heroes get thrown in the social security system nightmare and just slips through the cracks this bad? Can't wrap his head around it. And
Fee was trying to hold it together for Stryker because she was like, he's not dealing with this well. Okay.
And you were, with your dad.
Okay, that was my next question. Did the merciful DM give me some?
You don't know anything about what just happened at all.
Okay. Was it an acceptable with my dad? Guys, I can't
No, they just assumed you would be safe with your dad with the Templars if they came after Thomas's friends.
Okay.
And so I don't remember if they shot you a text message or not, just saying anything, but they didn't actually call to say, hey, we're coming to get you, because they knew you'd be fine with your dad and y'all's complex and everything.
Okay, so it's not yeah, hey guys, I can't come. I know you're getting shot at by a rocket launcher, but I'm going to just stay here.
No.
Okay.
Correct.
It was more like, we don't want to get you pulled into a less safe location than your very, very safe house. So we just kind of told you, hey, stay in the house. And we're like, don't worry, we got this. And then, we probably never text. Well, I think Steve might have texted you back. Stryker dead. He was originally the one who sent that text, but he was like, today it's just, I don't feel like talking to people on my phone right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was anything said in character, but that's, yeah, y'all would have let him know y'all were safe and everything. So, I mean, that's not an issue.
Yeah. Giving him, like, the all clear. Okay, so the Catholic Church isn't trying to kill us currently. We're good.
Correct.
But I'm pretty sure none of us told you about, like, this mess that's now between the three of these characters.
No, probably not, because Fee's trying to, like, keep it together for Stryker. Stryker's dealing with his shit, and Thomas is broken, so she's trying to feed him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
And Godfrey's been basically threatened with murder.
Hey. It's not a threat. It's a promise.
And Fee was like, no, trust me. You're going to get him his meeting.
Like, he doesn't care if he has to talk to. He doesn't really care who he has to talk to. He's like, there is no way I don't have the right for a visitation, or at least to get the answer to this question. And if I don't, I'll just beat enough things until I do. Because this month has been full of things that I can't punch. But I'll be damned if I don't find a way for this one. Also, out of session, we finally figured out what his original first name was, which is Solomon.
I mean,
We found it on the newspaper, but we didn't know what to name him, so we just kind of put it off for a bit.
I mean, for one plan, if we're not able to go visit my mom, you could spend a few sessions going on a rampage until you get arrested and sent there as a prisoner.
There you go.
And then Fee has to break him out, and then they have to go on the run. Because Fee's not going to let him stay in prison.
I don't think that Stryker is going to go willfully breaking the law enough to get into that kind of prison. Like, you got to kill like a lot of innocent people to get in there. That's not a like beat up a villain and kill them kind of prison.
Yeah, that's a super terrorist kind of prison, the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Mom and Dad would be fairly upset if you did that just to learn what to them.
But, alright, Norman, we're going to go back a little bit to basically what you were doing over the time since the Halloween party to basically going on high alert from the whole Templar thing.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Did you hear anything I had said?
Unfortunately not.
Okay, so basically, we're gonna kind of go back a couple of days for you, just like what you were doing between the next day after the Halloween party, up to the high alert thing. There's basically a couple of days in between, so filling in your downtime a bit. So, what do you think Norman would have been doing after the night of fighting the Halloweenies?
Oh man, I need to get in that mindset. That was like a month ago. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't personally make sure Stryker was okay with that. He'd probably try to ask Fee, like, a roundabout, hey, have you seen Stryker every couple days? If she hadn't, I mean, he definitely wants to double down on his training. Maybe that's why he was at his father. He really only had, I don't know if we're thinking that he was doing stuff between sessions with the Rango's thing. Okay. But if he could organize a few more sessions with him.
Okay, so you spent a lot of your free time on those in-between days then just training with that, trying to get a better handle on ghostly combat and whatnot. And then, the day after that, you got that notice from them basically saying, hey, just stay put type of thing. Eventually, you got the all clear. Again, I don't know how much they would have told you in a text, or if you would have called back and been like, "Hey, what's up?" or whatever. But that's up for you to decide.
Yeah, he would definitely call back. He appreciated like them watching out for his safety, but also, I mean, probably very worried. Though, probably right after the message was sent, that things were things were still a bit hairy. I don't know if they would.
I mean, if Fee didn't answer the call, she would have called him back later once they were back at the apartment to let him know what happened.
Like all that happened, or just
The
the Templar and stuff.
The Templar, the highlights. She would have been like, and then some other stuff happened, but we'll talk about that later. It's not really pertinent to the danger that was going on.
All right, I'll try to make my schedule a bit more loose in case something pops up again. I want to be there to help you guys.
Honestly, there wasn't that much to do. We got into the bunker. Godfrey negotiated. We gave him a stick. But I appreciate you wanting to be there for us. Thank you, Norman.
Yeah. Call me if things change.
Definitely. Right now, I'm more concerned with letting Stryker get some rest, but I'll definitely keep my eyes open and let you know if anything changes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fee or Stryker, after the whole thing was clear, and would either of you have called work to say, hey, we're all good now? It won't be a couple weeks after all, or anything like that?
Yeah, Fee would have been like the one in charge of that. She would have called. She would have been making the phone calls because she knows Stryker's really not in a position at that point in time. So she would have been trying to do everything she could to sort of make things easier on him.
Okay. So yeah, when you call work, you talk to Kiko. After you tell her everything's clear, she's just like, "Oh, that's great. I'm glad y'all are safe. That's really good." So Stryker said something about y'all got an apartment, like a first apartment.
Yeah, I moved out of my parents' house. Stryker and I, it's not too far from work. We figured it would be best for us to be on our own.
Well, that's great. And since y'all aren't on the run anymore, I want to throw a big celebration up at the shop for y'all. To make a big deal out of it. Celebrate.
That sounds great. But maybe could we wait a couple of days? I know Stryker's kind of exhausted right now.
Yeah. I've got a plan in mind for Stryker, something to maybe it'll get his spirits up. So a special fight.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Go ahead and take take a couple days off, and I know how y'all's schedule can be. You know what's going on, so take the time you need, and then let me know, and I'll give y'all the exact date and everything, and we're gonna rock this house.
That sounds great, Keiko. Thank you.
And then she hangs up, and so I assume the rest of the night's pretty much just at that point, just somber reflection and quiet sleeping. Everybody's kind of brooding or something, lost in thought.
Yeah, just sort of trying to deal with whatever's going through their heads.
Okay, so we'll go the day after, the next day. It's a morning. Norman, you're up. You're eating breakfast. What would you be normally eating for breakfast?
He's probably the one to just grab like a granola bar and like a banana.
Okay. So yeah, so you grab that, and do you plan to like head out or hang around the house, or what's your plan for a free day now after a big day of drama?
He wants. I have no experience. He wants to buy a bonsai tree.
Fucking what?
Well, he just learned that you guys got an apartment together. He wants to get a housewarming. So he's gonna try to find a bonsai tree.
Alright, fair. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you look one up. I mean, with the power of the internet, you find a nursery that sells them.
Alright. And I might pick up like a pair of shears. He probably gets like the least amount of supplies necessary because he just doesn't understand the point. But he knows people get plants, and apparently this one's pretty cool.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go the opposite direction because you didn't understand.
No, it's like a pair of like hair cutting scissors. And granted they gave him the address, he will try to drop it off. I don't know if they'll be accepting, but
I mean,
Free.
well, I'm sure they had to give Thomas the address, so I don't know why they wouldn't have given Norman the address.
Or at least Steve
You
would.
said bail like it wasn't you.
Yeah.
you put in the hero team group chat.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Thomas. Thomas. What are you doing for the morning?
I forget. Is this the very next day?
Yeah. Yeah. Very next day.
Okay. So probably just like cereal on the couch. Yesterday, I probably would have called my dad just to let him know everything was fine and see if he could arrange to get us in to see my mom at all. So for now, probably just hanging out on the couch watching TV with like a bowl of cereal.
Okay.
Hey, Dad, Mom kidnapped my friends when they were very young and also killed one of them. Can you see?
Yeah. Would you have told him like all of that, or just that you needed to get your friend in without like, going into the details?
He generally knows at least most of her stories, so I probably would have told him like the whole thing just so he knows specifically why they wanted to go see her.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever you mention like the incident, he's like, "Oh yeah. That one. Okay, that was your friends, huh?" So clearly he knew about the incident. He just had no idea that that's your friends were some of the victims.
Yeah, crazy how that turns out, huh, Dad?
Yeah, that's pretty unlucky.
Pretty unlucky, huh? I guess that's unlucky.
Is it possible to punch someone through a phone?
You have luck powers. If you want something to happen to your dad, roll and unleash your powers.
Oh, why is there a bear trap in the middle of this busy intersection?
Fucking I'm rolling. Give me 1 second.
And as soon as he says that, like seconds after he does, and you like react like just to that situation, all of a sudden you just hear like a crashing sound as he starts groaning in pain. Just, oh, that potted plant just fell on me. Oh.
Bonsai.
Weird.
I need to go make sure I don't have a concussion. I'll talk to you later, son.
Alright, good luck with that, Dad.
And I'll work on your request there for you. Oh.
Cool, thanks.
You just hear him groaning as the phone turns off.
Oh crap! Was Godfrey there? Does he realize what I probably did?
I mean, he wouldn't be listening in on your phone call to hear your dad or anything on that side of it.
Okay, good. It's like he knows me, he's just glaring at me for misusing my power.
Oh. And so we'll cut over to the new pad, and so what are the two of y'all doing that morning, the next day?
Fee's probably up cooking, making breakfast.
I think Stryker's trying to talk to the professor about like how he should even go about trying to learn more about himself. I guess, you know, if there's any like living family, or if he should try reaching out to I just about learning a bit more of his parents' background.
Right. I can put out some feelers, and it's not me, and you know my family has connections. We can try to figure out if there's anything that was left in their estate that should have been yours, or any details about surviving relatives or anything like that. But I don't really feel like necessarily need to get Aegis involved yet, but I can extend some feelers out and see if I can find anything for you.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could be more help, but this, you know.
I understand. I don't know what to do with myself.
That's understandable. Had a lot happen and learned a lot. A lot of very powerful information. Just don't do anything rash.
Yes, there's like a pause before he says, all right, I'm gonna go, I don't know, something.
All right, if you're always free to give me a call. And if I'm not there, I'll call back as soon as I get the message. Or if you need to stop by or anything else.
Got it. He hangs up and just kind of twiddles his thumbs. He doesn't know, like, he's a very action-oriented person, but it's not a situation where anyone's giving him an action he can orient towards. Just like, wait. He's like, I'm not good at that one.
Right. Fee, what are you cooking?
Bacon and eggs with some toast.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an assess.
Your egg situation is quite a mess. It's in the greatest danger.
Full hit.
Yeah. So as you're moving back and forth, cooking, fixing, the plate, getting those ready for everything, and flipping the bacon, stirring. I'm assuming scrambled eggs, or if not, flipping the eggs, whatever kind of eggs you're making.
Yeah.
Out of the corner of your eye, you kind of, it almost looks like one of the pieces of bacon that was frying seems to be moving erratically. And as you look over, you see little eyes on it pop open, like staring at you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay. I
Flip it over.
grab the bacon, I use the spatula and take the bacon with the eyes and go, what the fuck? And pick it up out of the pan.
The eyes close, but you can still see, they look like closed eyes. They're not just gone. Like they're trying to pretend like you didn't notice.
I saw you! What the fuck?
Yeah, as you're holding it there after you say that, there's a as the bacon splatters in your hand into just across the kitchen.
Can I be in this scene? I think when someone
You could say you walked out. You heard her say that, and then you walk out and you see the bacon explode in her hand.
Okay, like wait. So I think I don't under. I'm not sure. Did it explode like dead explosion or explode as in like fire off in a direction?
It exploded like it. Yeah, like it suicide bombed itself rather than be questioned. Not fire, not fiery, but like the bacon itself just shattered and split, shot across the room in dozens of pieces.
I mean, she can feel the anger because he already assumes this is fucking related to the hot dog people.
Yeah, what's happening to our fucking food lately?
I was wondering why you asked me what I was eating for breakfast.
Granola bars.
I can't turn that.
Somebody had to be eating some fucking sausage or something.
I deliberately did not say sausage for this reason because I was like, oh, the sauce. He's gonna do something with the sausage. Let's go talk to me. Nope, bacon has eyes. Son of a bitch.
What was that?
The bacon had eyes, Stryker, and then it exploded.
He rubs his fucking forehead and he's like, I really don't need this right now.
None of us do.
I guess talk to Norman. He knows about this kind of stupid shit.
And as if on cue, there's a knock at the door.
So help me, that's a...
He opens the door and is already ready to punch.
Oh.
Yeah, so Norman, the door opens and you see Stryker there about to like knock the shit out of you.
He just like holds up the bonsai.
Oh.
Like he's about to punch and I'm just handing him a gift at the same moment, and then
he like stops before connection and just goes, well, at least you're here.
Yeah, I heard you guys got an apartment, came over, decided to get you. I heard people get plants for these kinds. So I thought, I know you like punching stuff, but I heard that instead of that, you could just cut this little tree. I don't know.
I'll talk to Professor about it. A lot of stuff has happened. A lot more than I thought this morning was going to have. Apparently, talking meat's going to be an ongoing problem.
What?
We had a bacon come to life or something.
Yeah, the bacon had eyes. And then it exploded.
Well,
No, it was
just a
just
normal-
bacon thighs.
it wasn't a. He like does the thing where he puts his hand to one side of his mouth so Stryker can hear. Was it a person?
I don't think so. I bought the package of bacon yesterday, like 2 days ago at the store.
I don't know how you managed to do this when I'm standing between you and Fee.
No, yeah, no, it never works. Like, when does it ever work? So, but like, I tried.
He says, "You're the wheelhouse for the weird shit. Figure out what's going on so I can kill them and be done." And he just sits down and eats it.
Alright, well, looks like the small tree came in at the right... I'll go talk to my father and call you if I get anything. Thought we got some peace. He just like closes the door and then portals back home.
Okay. Yeah, so you make it back home. I mean, that left all that long ago. You look around, though, you do not see your dad anywhere on the compound or in the house or anything.
That's weird. Is, like, the car gone?
Yes.
I guess I'm gonna try to call it.
Okay. Yeah, it rings a few times, and then he answers, and yes?
I got back from some of my teammates' new place. They said, I'm guessing I probably told them what happened after Halloween.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember what happened on Halloween. Seems like some of their bacon turned alive, sort of like the hot dogs did.
That's
Just this
different. Well, there have been people with powers known to be able to animate non-living things. I'm not aware of any with the bringing things to life, though, like that. I can look around and see if I can find anything. That doesn't bring back any memories from anything I've experienced, at least.
All right. Have you come across anyone that could fix something like this? If there are people being turned into meats?
Maybe some of the more powerful, life mages, the couple of them that are still active. I haven't talked to either one of them in years, but if there's something magical going on like that, then they may need to be made aware. Were either of your friends turned into meat?
No, just making breakfast. Apparently some bacon came to life. Had eyes. And then exploded.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them, see if I can get a hold of them and see if they know anything. But yeah, I've dealt with some strange things in my time. This is strange even for me.
Speaking of strange, are you doing something? You're normally not out of the house.
And we cut over to him, and well, I hadn't gone shopping in a while, and thought I'd go get out and do that. But you see, like, he's in the meat department there, and as you're talking, he's like putting down a pack of bacon he had and starts walking away from it as he talks.
Alright, as long as you just watch out for your body, alright?
Always.
Okay, I guess I'll relay the information back to my team and I'll speak to you later if there's any more.
Alright, and if I learn anything, I'll be sure to let you know.
Alright. You scared me for a second. I thought my dad was a meat mastermind or something for just like 1 second.
Or you, like, for just, like, once. I swear to God, if another one of our fucking parents are slam dunking on Stryker in another way, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
Alright, yeah. You just text the group, like, hey, my father knows of a couple people that animate things, but he hasn't heard of this specifically. But apparently, if we do see people that are turned into food, if we contact a life mage, they may be able to
Yeah, he said he would try to reach out to the life mages.
Yeah.
I think Fee sees like Stryker sigh and then send to the group chat. I have someone I can ask about this probably. I'll go ask them. And man, is there? It's like quite a look of resignation as he gets up. This is going to be a very annoying day, Fee.
I know. I was really hoping we could just have breakfast and have a calm day, but apparently not.
Well, if you happen to know anyone, I guess reach out. I'll go talk to the only other hero I know.
No, but I am gonna go talk to my father. See if maybe I can find out some more information about when we were kidnapped.
Okay. I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah, don't hesitate to let me know if you need anything, all right?
He nods, and he heads up to go find Longshot. Because hey, if there was ever someone who would be able to solve a situation that is so unlikely to be solved by a person, why not Longshot?
Man, long shot.
Yep. My Hail Mary.
It's all day.
Literally, that figurative joke is 99% of the reason why. I was like, you know what? Today is finally the day off.
Yeah, so do you just like kind of put some feelers out, contact some people, asking if they've seen her or anything, or how do you go about it? Or is the nature of the relationship where you would have had a phone number?
I think after the Nazi incident, she gave the number under like, you know, the pretense of like next time you're facing a situation, instead of resorting to hyper violence, just call me. And he's like, fucking fine, I'll take this so that when you're in danger, you can call me.
Okay.
Like, one of those double situations. So he just, you know, for the probably the second time since getting this number like a couple months ago, it's just like, where are you?
Yeah, so you call it, and it rings a couple times and picks up, and you just hear, "Hey."
Hello, Longshot.
How you doing, Stryker?
I'm dealing with a villain that can't be solved through violence.
You don't say.
So I would like to meet you and talk about it and ask for your help.
You hear a clattering, and you, oh, sorry, drop the phone.
Longshot, I've had a very long week. I don't need this right now.
Fine. Where do you want to meet?
He kind of thanks for everyone. It's like, House of Brews, I guess.
Okay. Are you bringing your little team along?
No, it's just me.
Oh, I wanted to meet the family.
He just gangs up. Starts walking there like, go fuck yourself.
You get a text a moment later from her saying she'll meet you there around 4 o'clock. Thomas, so a little bit more time has passed, you know, all this going on. What have you been doing? Or any plans to actually leave, or just vegetate all day?
Unless I've heard from either of them, probably not much going on until I hear back from my dad. Actually, no, yeah, at this point, now that I'm done with breakfast, I probably would have texted them just to try the others just to see what's up.
Yeah, I think we would have informed you of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do learn about the little all-seeing bacon.
I drop my phone. I'm gonna run to the fridge. If you want me to roll a sus for this or anything, fine. But I want to see if we have any bacon.
Yeah, go ahead and roll assess.
I want to assess my fridge's situation. What's the greatest danger in my fridge?
Oh.
Yeah, as you scour through it, you do see a pack of bacon. It's been opened, like been being cooked out of for breakfast. Whether not today, obviously, because you didn't eat any, but there you do find some bacon.
Okay, not that I'm expecting this to work, but if they've got eyes, that tells me that people are being turned into bacon like they were with the hot dogs. So I'm going to try to, and like I said, I'm not expecting this to work. So if you want it to be a super high roll, go for it. I want to try to use reality magic to hopefully turn them back into people before they get eaten.
You roll that shit.
Dude, I hope this doesn't work, because that implies that every single piece of meat has been turned into a person, which thought.
No!
So you extend, try to alter the reality of the situation and turn them back into people, but nothing happens, giving you the impression that it's just bacon.
Okay, good. I put it back in the fridge, like mumbling to myself. Okay, good. It's just bacon.
Godfrey kind of, as you shut the door, it's like the scene where like they shut a door and the first person standing there. Godfrey standing on the other side of the fridge door when you shut it. And is there a problem with the bacon, sir?
No. Our bacon is safe. We're good.
Okay, would you like some?
Nope. No, I'm good. I'm fine. Cereal was good enough for me.
Now,
Thank you.
my question is, are you still on the phone? Like, are they hearing all of this exchange? Or did you hang up and go check after they told you? After Fee told you?
I assumed we were texting, and I said that I just dropped my phone.
Okay. Well, I'm glad the bacon's safe, sir. Do you need to go anywhere today? Use the vehicle?
Yeah, probably. Let me check with the others.
Very good, sir.
Get like the most incoherent text that you can kind of maybe make out. Bacon safe. I come over.
Fee responds, going to talk to Dad. Maybe later.
Oh, okay.
I like when we both come back and none of them are.
But if you're here and you're here, then that means.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, your phone call with your dad didn't take long, so yeah, you popped back and they were all still there. Stryker left after you got there, Norman, so it was just you and Fee at the apartment. Or did you call and not port back?
Oh, I didn't. I thought she said she was leaving, so Thomas wasn't.
No. When you got the information from your dad and you relayed that, I don't remember. Did you port back and tell them, or did you just call?
I just texted them.
Oh, okay. At this point in the day, it is a Monday, Fee, so you figure your dad's at work.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try to go to the his office, since that way she doesn't have to interact with her mother.
Right. Okay, so yeah, you make your way to the Zeta Cola offices where he works, and he's in there, crunching away at numbers and everything. And oh, surprise! What brings you here?
Dad, we need to talk.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like what I found out a couple of days yesterday.
No, sit down. And he motions to one of the chairs across from his desk.
She shuts the door behind her.
You can tell he's visibly nervous at this point.
She looks up at him. I was kidnapped when I was younger. Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, that, well, you didn't seem to remember, and we didn't want it to bother you. We had you checked out by the best psychiatrists and everything at the time, and they were all of them said you seemed to have no memory of it. It was strange. And so none of us thought it would be a good idea to mention it. And that is another reason why your mother reacted like she did. You almost having lost you to superpowers and that whole world, and then your brother. So takes away any sense of control or protection that a parent can provide.
He nods. I understand that, but Dad, something else is going on, and I don't know how to make sense of it. My friend Stryker, he was one of the children who was kidnapped too.
Really? He looks taken aback, like just surprised that that's the case.
You can't tell me that that's not a little odd, that he and I would both be kidnapped, both develop powers, and now be as close as we are.
It does seem pretty improbable.
Do you remember anything else from what happened? All I saw was a newspaper clipping. Do you remember how she kidnapped me?
No, I know how we found you missing, but we don't know how she got you. You weren't there in the morning, and you had been when we put you to sleep that night. There was no noises or anything waking us up, no signs of injury or anything. I did some research on her after you were found, thankfully, and apparently she's a very powerful, very evil villain who things could have gone a lot worse. I'm sure getting in and out of a place unnoticed is pretty simple for her.
Yeah, her son, Thomas, is actually another of my friends. He's on the team with me.
He just seems speechless at that.
I want to see if he knows more than what he's telling.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
I want to try to pierce the mask.
I need to open up my move sheet. Okay, so any an exact specific question or?
What aren't you telling me about this situation? What are you trying to protect me from?
Well, we didn't mention it just because it would seem like it would, if you really didn't have any memory of it, then It just seemed like unnecessary trauma. I mean, it was... You were gone for a week. And everything the authorities told us, or with the press, they never gave us any reason for her motive or what her plans were or anything.
Have you had any other contact with them, with Aegis, throughout the years?
There was some initial in the beginning, and especially during her trial. But after that, no. Anytime parole, she comes up for attempts at parole, of course, is always denied, but somehow her lawyers still manage to get the meetings for it. I don't understand that one, given all the things she did.
She just sort of nods. Is there anything else that you know? My friend Stryker, his parents were the two heroes that were killed rescuing us. I'm trying to find out what I can for him. Anything you know, Dad?
No, nothing I know about the situation, unfortunately. But I wonder if, I guess that was him, the little boy that you were holding hands with, and he had your little bear that you had always slept with, and I guess you gave it to him to comfort him while y'all were there, and you didn't want to take it back from him after we got you back.
Phaedra sort of smiles.
I really wish I knew more. I wish I could have protected you from that ever happening.
Fee just reaches out and hugs him. Dad, it's okay.
And he hugs back, and you can tell he's just like trying to hold back from just like sobbing.
And she just sort of pulls him in close. And she's like, it's okay. I'm the one who's going to stop people from that, like that, from ever hurting any more kids. It's going to be okay. I'm not going to let it happen anymore.
And then you can feel him like kind of nod in the hug, and he's just, I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault at all.
I'm sorry we didn't tell you, but it just didn't want to hurt you anymore over it.
She nods. It's okay. I'm just trying to piece everything together. I'm sorry for interrupting your work day.
No, never apologize for that.
She smiles and she kisses him on the cheek.
If I have to choose between you or this place can go fuck itself.
She laughs. Okay. I now have to go see a man about bacon having eyes. Yes, I know how weird that sentence sounds.
Yeah. Should we throw our bacon out?
I don't think so yet. I'll let you know. Being a hero can be weird sometimes.
I'm getting that impression.
But thank you.
Be safe.
I will. I'll text you later.
All right. Thank you.
She nods and she heads out the door, going back to the apartment.
Okay. Norman, what are you doing back at your place? Just waiting on your dad to get home?
Yeah, I mean, if I saw between Thomas and Fee, everyone apparently is going somewhere, so he doesn't really have anywhere to...
Okay.
So he's just going to sit...
Yeah, eventually, he comes back in, and he has a few groceries with him, nothing major, and just, well, I'm Glad you called. When you did, I was about to buy quite a bit of bacon.
At this point, Thomas said it was just bacon. Or no, he said bacon's just bacon. I don't remember what he said. Either way, looks like my friends are getting a hold of the situation, although slightly. I'm still not sure. Apparently, Stryker has a friend that might be able to help. Oh wait, no, you didn't say that. Sorry.
No, he said that he was gonna try. Might know something.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you said that in the text or.
He texted that, and then he could see that he was not looking forward to the meeting. Was the thing I was trying to convey.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I tried to reach out to Gaia or the Guardian, but neither of them responded yet, so hopefully one of them can get back to me. Those mage types are usually pretty busy.
Yeah, I would guess, especially since the hot dog story, they're probably working. Did you... There's been some things going on between parents, and I'm wondering, did you have any idea about... Sorry. You know Thomas's mother, right? You told me to watch out for her.
Yeah, he nods and rubs his arm when his one hand goes up to his shoulder and starts rubbing from an injury that she'd given him. Oh, I know her. Yes, I remember.
It looks like she's a bit involved in the rest of my friends' lives, I guess.
A bit.
Well, that's not surprising, I suppose. She was always up to something. How she got so much done in a day, I'd never know.
That's what I was wondering. Did she have any rumors surrounding her? I don't really want to ask Thomas. I just thought maybe you guys were around at the same time, that you might have come across her once or twice.
Oh, there was all sorts of rumors about her. I don't know which were true or not. I'm pretty sure the ones that said she was part demon probably weren't true.
Probably.
I just find it so weird that suddenly 3 people, their fates, and all joined the same hero team.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if this is still all the results playing out of some plot she started long before she was ever captured and turned herself in.
That's what I'm worried about.
I know her son has probability magic at his disposal, and I don't know how well he's with it, but she was much better with it, so things seeming improbable or unlikely going on aren't necessarily that improbable if somebody was influencing it to happen, even if it was years ago.
I just don't know what to do. Everyone's... and it seems like it's already set in stone, even the things that haven't happened. I just want to be able to stop them, that's why I want to...
He just kind of nods and sits down at the table, and well, we can't really stop what we're not aware of, and it'd be very difficult to find out if she did set something in motion all those years ago, causing all of this, whether this was intentional or legitimately just improbable. how do you research the strands of fate and probability? You're just a lowly human. He kind of grins with that. At the lowly part.
Oh, who knows? Maybe Thomas will get a better grasp on his power soon. Maybe he can stop his mom's desire.
Has he shown any signs of following her path at all?
Evil? No. But he is getting stronger.
Yeah. The Templar business seemed to resolve itself pretty quickly and easily, in a very lucky manner. I'm assuming his abilities were involved in that resolution.
Yeah, probably. He chuckles a little bit. I don't get it. I can't. You're right. We can't. That's why I'll help my team become stronger.
Well, that's probably for the best. If living bacon and whatever plots evil mothers may have put into motion, it's a good thing to stay on point and well trained.
Well, I wouldn't guess that you perhaps have had some experience fighting sentient meat.
No, I can't say that I have, unless you count people as sentient meat, which technically I suppose we are.
There was going to be no answer from that wasn't going to be disturbing in the yes category.
Now, if you had asked me about sentient broccoli, that's another matter.
Oh. It's like, if it's anything like yours, the path of a hero might be even stranger than we've already imagined.
Yeah, the broccoli, though, I suppose it wasn't really broccoli, at least not terrestrial broccoli, it was space broccoli. It was a pretty low-key event. We managed to keep the news from spreading, but yes, the Earth was invaded by broccoli from space.
Now that you mention it, those Halloweenies did seem rather extraterrestrial. Though.
Don't give that validation.
I mean, come on, they're literally hot dogs.
Don't
human, probably.
Don't act like your dad didn't just say something that was fucking insane.
I mean, he's probably said something more insane.
It's sort of like the events with Thomas and his mom's enemies. Like, Norman's used to like weird shit having happened in the past. I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, because if weird shit didn't happen to him, then we wouldn't be able to get the information we needed fast. So he just sort of accepts it. I mean, he's like a well of experience.
If I remember correctly, it was that event that really kickstarted the vegan movement.
I feel like our group's about to have one of those ourselves.
Fucking. God damn it.
Your dad just kind of looks a little bit lost in thought at this point, reflecting back on the broccoli invasion.
I like how their response to evil broccoli was to eat the broccoli. And our response is like, I don't want to eat meat.
Well,
because the meat was people.
We fought against the enemy. We didn't. The only way to beat them is to eat them.
Boomers versus millennials.
Oh, God.
Y'all fans won't eat your greens. Don't you know that's how you keep the enemy dead?
Well,
I feel well is the only reaction you could have to that.
Yeah.
And as you think about it, like in the moment, you do seem to recall, anytime y'all had broccoli for dinner, your dad always seemed a little angry when he bit into it.
Oh,
The friends I've lost along the way.
this one's for you.
Fucking a single tear of justice.
Alright, Dad, I think I should probably go.
And he just kind of nods and just keep me informed, and of course I'll get whatever information I can. And
Thank you.
Never forget, son. Eat your green.
I was always wondering why that was our family thing.
I thought we were just didn't realize we were going on an onslaught war against the aliens.
We're avenging fallen heroes.
He's probably going to keep the whole broccoli story to himself.
You know, I
Yeah,
can't
don't
imagine
think-
why.
Yeah, he's going to train until someone else comes up with
all right.
info or...
We'll jump over to Stryker walking into the House of Brews, where he looks around and he sees Longshot and her civvies sitting at a table in a corner. Got a coffee in front of her.
Yeah, also, I'm just gonna switch my rival from Obsidian shit to Longshot.
Okay. Whenever she sees you, she kind of does that like exaggerated like hand waving, making sure to move each finger individually at you.
God. He sighs and like tries to settle the mental confliction that always happens when he sees her. Cause like he's just like, man, it's like I'm talking to a younger professor. And like already that's usually pretty mindfucky when it's not like I just unloaded a lot of emotional baggage on someone that looks exactly like you. So it takes like a full minute, which I mean, he just has a neutral expression before he sits down and says, all right.
So how can I help? And she has like just a smirk on her face the entire time.
You know, part of him's going to get satisfaction from ripping that off her face. He's like, you remember hearing about the Halloween incident?
She nods. Of course.
That was my team.
I know.
And,
Who was the adorable Pikachu?
fuck you. That's not true. That was a weird thing.
It was adorable.
Not important. The important thing is, well, we tried to have breakfast and our bacon came to life, so apparently this is going to be an ongoing thing.
Well, there has been an uptick of meat sightings.
So I was hoping that you might know something so that I can just get to the part where I killed this man.
No, I don't know what's causing it. I know that, like I said, there are reports coming into Aegis and 911 that are kind of being kept hush-hush that, well, people are reporting their meat coming alive. It seems to be happening a little bit more often. It peaked on Halloween, of course, but it's still apparently going on.
Any, centralized location? Something? There's a lot about that time that I don't feel especially good about.
She just kind of nods in understanding, and no centralized location. I can send you the addresses the reports are coming in from, if you'd like those, but they just seem to be scattered all over. They have been able to determine, Aegis, that it does appear to be magical in nature. And they have said it does seem to be old magic.
Joy. Kind of thing. Like looking to her and then to himself for a bit and then says, well, since you don't have anything on that, do you happen to know anything about two heroes that used to be in contact with I just a long time ago? Their names were Tech Knight and Steelbat.
Yeah, they were great. They were some of my favorites of the old heroes growing up. It's a shame what happened to them.
His expression falls before he nods and says, yeah. If you could tell me anything, I'd be very grateful.
Well, I never met them well before my time, and I don't exactly have access to everybody's files or anything, but I know they were both geniuses, her more so than him. She designed most of their suits, from what I understand, and most of their gadgets. They were pretty well beloved. They were around for a while, actually. Probably close to a decade before what happened in the hero game. I don't know what they were doing before that, but they were pretty well known.
What about the fallout of that situation? Do you know at all? Kind of did to help deal with it?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of missing kids that just showed up, so I imagine they had to go about.
Oh, yes. Well, the ones who most of them were returned to their families. Missing reports had been filed for all of them. Don't really know. One of them they apparently couldn't find the parents for, though, and I know he went into the system. I don't know what happened to him after that.
I do.
With that, she kind of, you see the wheels turning and her mouth kind of drops a little bit, and she just, no.
He just shrugs. Apparently.
She just seems to be at a loss for words for the first time you've ever known her.
I'm trying to ask around, hence me wanting to meet you, since I know you're all I just is a great thing nonsense.
Oh, things are certainly better with them here than not.
He just shrugs and just says, I don't know. They have always been, and I guess always were, the ones that just let people like me fall through the cracks.
Well, I can look into that for you. Hope potentially reach out to some people and see if I can find out exactly how that happened.
I don't know, maybe I'll learn something. He, rubs his temples and just says, like I said, it's been a long, long week. Full of things I can't just react with violence with. Which, while is great for you, is very frustrating for me.
Well, I mean, she kind of grins, and you can always just beat your meat if it comes to life again.
He looks at her confused, not understanding. He's submissive.
And she just takes a sip of her coffee.
Isn't that the only thing I can do?
Yes. Beat the meat to your
I feel
heart's
like-
content. Unleash your rage on it.
I feel like you're fucking with me.
Never.
He just looks annoyed as he drinks it. So, well, I guess. Is there anything I can help you with in exchange? Because if not, I guess I get to go on a wild goose chase for this.
Well, you can always keep in
Whatever.
contact more, and we can stay up to date and current on each other's life and hang out sometimes. And
He just gives an incredulous look, like,
love to meet your friends.
maybe Fee will know how to deal with you better.
I'm sure she's great. Professor was.
He just gets up with like roses and symbols and stuff. I guess I'll stay in contact so that I can learn more about my situation.
She nods and takes another drink of her coffee. Anything to help.
He just shakes his head, pays for their stuff, and then heads back out to, I guess, I don't know. Now he's at where everyone's at. Man, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself.
Thomas. So after the phone call, making sure your bacon's okay, what have you been doing the rest of the afternoon?
After all that, I just needed a walk. So I've just been outside wandering. Like, no direction in mind, really. Just walk until I hear something from anyone.
Okay, it's a nice day outside. It's not too cold. It's a nice autumn day. Neighborhood seems to be business as usual. Quiet, not a whole lot of cars going to and fro. A lot of old people living in there. Every now and then you see like a curtain, shutters kind of move from somebody trying to not get caught spying on the neighborhood. Other times you see them like just wide open, like just blatantly staring. Everything's normal.
Great. Yeah, I hesitate, but I'm gonna go investigate on.
No, I mean like literally, it's normal. Every walk you've had, you've always seen that going on, like neighborhood watch style, nosy.
Oh, okay.
And now from the corner, the plot device that the DM uses to help the players because they are out of cards.
All right. So I guess who's doing what at this point in the day now, having talked to who they needed to talk to or taken the walks they needed to take?
Fee's texting everyone, letting them know that she's going to their secret base.
We haven't been there in a
Maybe
while.
they could meet up there. Yeah.
All right. Always got the good old news to fall back.
Let's go see the penguins.
Yeah, I guess he goes as well. He doesn't. Fuck is he? If he knows what to do, everyone he's talked to is like, wait, and I'll come up with something.
How far away from the base would you say I probably am right now?
I'd say you're probably the farthest away. Pretty far.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I'm sitting here like doing the whole back and forth. Like, do I keep walking or do I go home and get Godfrey to drive me?
I mean, if you want to make it during the day still, like before they're all probably asleep or coming to look for you, like what the hell happened? Are the Templars at him again? You should probably get the car.
Yeah, I should probably go ask him to drive me over then.
Of course, as always, he's super eager and heads that way. So you all arrive different times. I imagine he getting news. Norman's probably the first one there, just teleporting.
Yeah. There's a new lamp to brighten up the room.
Well, and as you're kind of looking around in there and everything else, you do see another light in the back that usually isn't on.
Oh man, how long has this thing been on? I'll go turn it on. What is it? A room?
Yeah, it's a light in a room.
No, I mean like, is it its own room? It's just. I guess I go over.
Yeah. As you kind of turn to turn off the light and everything, you actually see like it's not coming from a light bulb, but from a figure kind of made of light sitting in one of the chairs, just kind of arms crossed.
Norman like freaks out and like turns around and pulls his hood over his face.
Well, no need for that. I think I already know who you are, and you recognize the voice immediately.
It's me. Okay, I do. Oh shit. Norman, like, is it who I think it is?
It's absolutely who you think it is.
Cool, okay, Norman immediately, like, summons everything he's got and attacks him.
Okay.
My favorite reaction to finding out that someone's like your arch nemesis.
So what exactly are you trying to do? Like, when you say summons everything, what does it look like?
Like, immediately, like, Doc Ock tentacles come from behind my back and all just spear towards.
Now, are you trying to, like, kill him with them, or?
I mean, at the very least, like, pin his, like, arms to the wall.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Go ahead and roll. Directly engage.
I'm
Okay.
like, I got to the conclusion faster than you did, and I didn't even know about this.
Oh, no.
So, all of the darkness you gather up around you and send it charging towards him, and he just erupts with light, and it kind of seems to dissipate the shadow seconds before it would impact with him. It doesn't dissipate it from your form, but just the tentacles you sent at him. And he lets the light dim and fade completely until there's just a small light kind of glowing in his hand to illuminate the room, which he kind of moves his hand up, and it leaves his hand and it illuminates the light bulb, and there's no need for any of that. If I wanted you dead, I would. Well, you'd be dead.
I don't doubt that. Why are you here?
Well, I've heard. Correct me if I'm remembering right. He's your uncle, right?
Yeah.
Well, I heard my favorite nephew has made some powerful enemies these last few days. Or a powerful enemy, at least. And I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Are you talking about the Catholic Church? I don't...
He has like this incredulous grin on his face, and oh, they hate you too. No, I wasn't talking about them.
The third Christ coming.
I thought the zombie popped out. No, I mean, he seems like a big deal, right? Like, you put those two words together, I mean, that's an enemy.
It probably means the fucking Halloween.
No. Have you been noticing a habit of your meat going bad lately?
I think a few of us had. Why?
Well, you thwarted some powerful being's plot on Halloween there, and, well, they're pretty angry about it.
I'm
Sounds like you're
glad.
about to get the raw end of the deal.
I just wanted to make sure you were okay. We can't have those precious powers of yours falling into the wrong hands, now can we?
Oh,
They were-
that was the perfect time to say meet an untimely demise, Lucid.
Oh no.
So, how have they been? Have you been keeping them warm for me?
You lost your chance.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm just biding my time.
Tell me the real reason you're here.
Oh, I'm very serious. I'm here to make sure the powers hadn't fallen into the wrong hands. You've made a powerful enemy by defeating those hot dog creatures. Don't really know what they were up to, but you stopped it, and, well, they're angry.
How do you know?
Well, I have my feelers out. I have contacts everywhere. I keep tabs on my favorite nephew. And he's just, his hand is like kind of on his chin, and he's just smiling, and the entire time he's talking. Seems very at ease and not at all nervous of the situation or worried. Yes,
Leave.
Really? You don't want to know who's after you?
You just said you didn't know what they're up to.
I don't know what they're up to. Doesn't mean I don't know who they are.
Fine, tell me.
No, they go by the name Meat Mystic. And
Of course they do.
they're very old. Very old. Reports of this character all the way back from thousands of years ago. You know, your abilities, your friends, I mean, and their magic, it'll be useful, but yours will work better. They are magic fighting magic. Yours is more pure. You know I'm not the bad guy, right, that I'm made out to be.
You hurt my father, and you almost killed hundreds of people.
Well, there's always reasons.
I'm sure there are, but it doesn't change the fact that they were innocent.
Well, as far as you know. Your father is hardly an innocent man.
He's better than you'll ever be, and that's why he got the power. That's why you lost.
Well, so far. You may choose to give them over to me someday.
I'd rather end the line.
And when you say that, he kind of gives you like this kind of knowing smirk, and, well, then maybe you won't.
Maybe I won't die, or give.
I mean, if you're willing to end the line, then maybe you won't give them to me.
Sort of taken off by that, like you didn't take it back a little bit. Yes, I won't.
Good to know. So just be on guard. You know, they don't know when they might strike, but at least you know who's coming for you. And continue to keep my powers warm for me.
How will I ever thank you?
There's still hope for you yet. And there's just a burst of light, and he's gone, and up through the bulb itself, and seemingly traveling along like the electrical lines, just as light out of the room and out of the base.
Immediately, like a cold sweat just envelops his whole body, and he just falls to his knees and starts breathing.
Yeah, about that time, Fee probably enters the base first.
Norman, are you okay? What's wrong?
Nothing. Sorry. Some family matters. I've found some things out.
She sort of smiles wryly. Join the club.
I really wish I didn't have to.
Never said it was a fun club. So, is there anything I can help you with?
Maybe get stronger. End the blight on our family. Maybe. But for right now, I think this is something I should keep to myself.
She sort of looks confused and just nods. Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Maybe I'll
it's okay.
say some. Maybe I'll tell the rest of you when we all get here. I already told Thomas. I might as.
I mean, we all have secrets. It's okay. You don't have to tell me anything you don't want to.
No, he seems to know of you. If you get into danger, I don't want it to be due to misinformation. As for now, at least I have a name of this meat. It's called the Meat Mystic.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
He thinks it's fucking old magical protector. Wants to see a moment of truth past my punch, motherfucker. One punch has taught me anything. One punch will negate no matter how much eldritch magic is thrown onto yourself. You just gotta punch good enough.
There you go.
About this time, Thomas and Stryker arrive at roughly the same time.
And man, does Stryker look like he's fucking done with today. And Fiend doesn't look well. This is a post long shot conversation look. Because it's the same expression every time.
Oh, and she just automatically knows, like, oh. Okay.
No, we've all had. But sit, please.
You really can't knock me off my feet.
Well, here's a try. My uncle is a man named Morningstar, a villain. Some of you might have. A terrorist. I wouldn't really call him my uncle anymore. Either way, he has an eye out for me and to you as well if you get in his way. He was here a few minutes ago. He told me some things about our enemy we're looking for. But with that information known, he is a villain, and this could just be part of his scheme.
I mean,
anyways.
Can I punch him?
I don't know. He might just scatter. It's what he did before you guys got in.
Alright, well then there's not much I can do about that situation. He just kind of nods and sits down.
Which brings me to my next point. He says that we're fighting a man named Meat Mystic. That we spoiled one of his plans with the Halloweenies. And that apparently your powers won't work as well again.
Your uncle underestimates my sheer drive to kill this thing.
Maybe.
He just sort of looks at him. Pretty sure he's got some water in him somewhere. I can work with that.
And what's Thomas thinking or saying throughout all this?
I'm just sitting here like, meat mystic. Like, to the point that I'm sitting here like counting on my fingers, like, do I even know this guy?
The name does not ring a bell to you.
I didn't figure.
Hey, you know, your mom might know him. You're supposed to be old Eldritch Magic, motherfucker. There's only one person in our entire arsenal. That wasn't going to be important. I would fall. How convenient. A reason to meet your mom. Wow. You should bring your friends along. We're all involved in this situation. No ulterior motives. But, yeah, I guess Stryker shrugs and just says, and I'm guessing no one knows anything about this guy.
Can't say I've heard of him.
Excellent.
Well, we need to find him and we need to stop this now.
Yeah. Stryker, you said you had a friend that might be able to... Did you get anything?
He just sighs and looks to the side and he just says, I mean, she would probably be able to look into Aegis's knowledge on this person. But then we'd have to talk to her. She's uncomfortably excited to meet all.
I vote go for it.
Anyone that can make you have that look, I think I want to meet. Get a few
She just
tips.
puts her head in her hands and just sighs. Guys, really? Today's not the day to antagonize Stryker.
No, it's fine. Just shit on me today. This is the day I'm having. He just kind of drinks some water and just says, God damn it, why does Longshot get whatever she fucking wants? They're like, well, I have an update, and now my whole team needs to talk to you. Are you fucking happy?
Did you text that to her or call her?
He texted it because he knows that she'll have a fucking... He doesn't want to hear her reaction after fucking, oh man, drop the phone, whoops.
There's about 15 smiley emotes that comes back immediately.
Like, it looks like Stryker's getting tased. He's fucking just shaking. Like fucking, he's like, oh, god damn it. Why is it?
And that's immediately followed with, just tell me where and when.
He gets up and he says, well, where are we meeting her? I doubt it's gonna be.
No. We can... Isn't there a little, like, restaurant right down the street? Let's go meet there. It's got a patio.
Fine, I guess I'll just be paying for all her food today. It just texts her the location.
I missed that. What location?
Just a restaurant nearby.
Oh, okay.
God, it just sounds like he's asking her on dates at this point. Jesus Christ, first it was a coffee shop. You can't. Today's not his day.
Whenever you text her location, she texts back. I'll be sure to dress nice for it.
He just doesn't respond. And he's just like, I'm not fucking changing, you kidding me? He says to all of them, like, she's very, very annoying, but she is a good person, I guess.
How annoying is she? Huh?
What is that first part? I just heard a whole bunch of huhs.
I was asking how annoying she is and then just saying huh over and over.
He just puts her hand on Thomas's head and is just like, no, I don't want you to get hit.
If I put and Norman together, that stands on a good day.
Did you bring your bonds?
Why would I bring the tree?
To cut? We went through this. I thought you were listening to me.
I just thought that you kept it in the house, right? You don't just carry clipping it.
Well, you don't punch people only in your house.
Norman, it's not practical to carry around a tree.
I was doing it. I only dropped it once.
And hey, like Gottfried carried one of those around for like 5 years. So I mean, if he can do it,
I gotta call it, guys.
Later, let's go see this annoying woman.
Let's just go, guys. We have bigger things to deal with than the bonsai tree.
I don't know.
You mean like bigger bonsai trees?
He just fucking
normal tree.
He ejects himself from this fucking situation.
Norman, at this point, he's just gonna text his father. Hey, have you heard of the Meat Mystic? We gotta talk later.
He gets back. He sends back. The gist of it is, hadn't heard of him. Will definitely use that exact name now in his research, and he'll talk whenever you get home.
Sure.
I need a cut of the information you have on Meat Mystic.
Information on it's pretty rare.
Oh, God.
Oh.
But, as the more you learn about them, the more you'll realize they're pretty well seasoned.
Fucking. This joke is already getting pretty well done. This is gonna be a long campaign arc. Holy God.
Yeah, but it's prime humor.
It's a cut above the rest.
That was some grade A fucking pull there. I didn't. For a second, I was like, and then I was like, oh, I can tap grade. Okay, but like for real, I'm going in this restaurant, and we're never gonna leave this.
Yes, we're going to the restaurant.
Yeah, so you all head to the restaurant, and you get there, and Longshot's already there, has a table for everybody. She was actually wearing what she was wearing at the coffee shop. And then she just waves at everybody enthusiastically.
Norman's just like, this is a nice little distraction from what just happened.
Bee is very wary because she knows about Longshot from what Stryker has told her. She's just like, all right, so we're doing this.
Stryker just sits down, I guess also in civilian clothes because he doesn't have hair or stuff, and just stares at her and just says, this is a business meeting, we're going to talk about business. Okay?
Whatever Stry wants.
Don't call it that.
you see Norman open his mouth a little bit.
Try.
Oh my God. Stryker's just like, I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself, I want to kill you, I want to kill everyone. We all need to die together. And he's like, I need to know what I just has on a villain named Meat Mystic.
Well, just straight to business, not introducing me to your friends or anything. Fine, I see how it is.
Straight.
The stakes are pretty high, okay?
My name's Norman. You're number one.
So you cut out there.
Whoa, back up there. You really want to give her your real name?
I mean, at this point, does she know we're your team or just friends?
No,
Yes.
I said that it was coming with the team. So yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
think you might want to introduce yourself as Obsidian Shandy.
Okay, yeah, then in that case, he would have had his, like, hood
Hoodie up and kind of darkened a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she kind of, well, I think I know who you are. She says, looking at you, Norman. I mean,
Not to mention,
not
she's
who
like
you are, but I mean, who you are, if you get what I mean.
I'm going to enjoy our conversation. Please tell me all of Stryker's deepest secrets.
What the fuck are you talking about? I've known her for like a couple months.
Tell
He
me
just
everything.
glares at Norman and Longshot. Just glares at them.
Most of it's just me saving her life because she's an idiot.
He's really a big softy.
He is, isn't he? You know what? He has a tree and everything now.
You're gardening?
No!
A little tiny
I kept
tree.
telling you needed a hobby.
It's like you could like see the invisible stress ball. Just like I fucking hate these two people. He's like, "Are you gonna do it or not? Are you gonna talk to Iris about the stupid meat mystic? Please."
So meat mystic. So that's who's behind all of the meat incidents.
Yes. Apparently, a big deal villain or something.
Huh. Let me see. She pulls out her phone and types some stuff in, and well, the database I have access to, and I'm sure they have files I don't. There's vague references to that name, but nothing solid. Apparently, there's reports going back hundreds, if not thousands, of years from all over the planet that align with this one character.
Do they have any
Great.
recent sightings of him?
They don't have any sightings of them. They don't know if it's a him or a her or an it. There's just the name and strangeness involving meat tied to it. Usually, the few references there are similar to Halloween, where quite a few people go missing, and given the fact that it's old magic, and given the fact that the reports go back as far as they do, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some sort of sacrifice for longevity or something like that, even, assuming it's one person all these years.
And someone like that has a vendetta against us.
That sounds fun. Can I join you?
Yeah.
He nods
No.
without hesitation.
No. Why are you saying no? No.
She just sighs and fine.
The last thing I need is her throwing herself in danger in this and me having checked her.
You haven't saved me that many times.
He gives her, oh really? Name one time we've met besides this morning.
When we met that you knew about?
You follow me?
Well, I have to make sure you're safe.
He's just silent. I think like most people who find that kind of information out, don't know how to respond to it.
It's not a lot. It's just been a couple of times over the last few months. I haven't heard from you in a while. I just want to make sure you're still alive.
Okay.
You have a habit of ignoring my texts and my calls and the letters I give the professor to give to you.
He's just like, so is this going to be a situation where you relent and then just come anyways?
If you don't want me there, I'm not going to be there.
Today, here's the best.
Yeah.
Because fuck if he doesn't believe that. Well, I do still get... Actually, I do have that one role. Full listener, I think it was. Isn't it like they get to ask an additional question if you get to ask a question towards you?
Which one is that?
It's under the bull's heart.
Let me pull that up real quick and check. Okay, Bull's Heart listener. When you pierce the mask of your love or rival, you can always let them ask you a question to ask them an additional question in a turn, even on a miss. These additional questions don't have to be on the list.
Yeah, so I guess that, you know what? Both my question towards her is she going to go and put herself in danger if we don't let her come with us?
And, like, I'm not gonna go if you don't want me there, but if you don't want me around so much, why do you keep in contact? You know, you act like you don't care, but deep down you really do, don't you? And that's basically her question, how you really feel. And why you still keep contact and all that, if you don't actually like her.
And upon hearing this, Fee just sort of grabs Norman and Thomas. She's like, boys, we're going to go take a walk. We're going to let them talk about this by themselves.
As she's dragging me away, I'm just like, wait.
Yeah, he's waiting until they're outside. And he just...
Bye, Stryker.
Bye, fun new girl.
She waves to both of y'all as y'all leave. Your friends are great.
Yeah, there's something.
Something great.
I guess. Because even though you annoy me, you're still someone I'd rather see safe. He kind of mumbles.
Aw, you do care.
Shut up. So is that a yes? You were going to go anyways? Because I'd rather have you in eyesight.
No, that was if you don't want me there, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to sneak around behind your back and go anyway.
He thinks for a moment and just says, fine. You can come, I guess.
She squeaks a little bit.
He just shivers.
I guess first we have to find her.
Yes, that is. We need to find them. I'm not sure we even have a gender.
No, that's true. Don't even know if they're human.
I guess I'll pay for your food and then we can go talk with my team about our plan.
Well, don't worry about paying. I'll pay. I'm the new girl on the team, right? So I gotta pay my dues.
He shakes his head and just says, "Pay me by not giving nor the Obsidian Shade anything else, please. Fucker's sorry and annoying enough." He kind of walks and takes her that pays for her anyways.
And as you kind of walk off, she comes up behind you and like her hands like kind of go on your shoulders and do like a quick like massage. I think you really need to loosen up around your friends.
He looks back like, why do you think I'm tense right now? It's not them.
You see the two of them exit the restaurant together where y'all are waiting outside. And she waves again.
She'll be joining us.
Why couldn't you just say yes the first time?
He's just like Obsidian. We're gonna have a long, productive sparring session if you keep going.
How far away is she at this point? Like, how far has she gotten by the time he says that she's joining us?
Probably like right behind me.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe 5 minutes since y'all left outside. They came out and they came out together.
What I mean is, I was gonna like run up and hug her and drag her back over.
Drag her back over where?
To where we are. It's not close enough for me to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she just like doesn't even resist. Like kind of like y'all like almost skipping together back to the spot in a hug. It's like really awkward looking.
Stryker's just looking annoyed at the two of them.
Oh, if I'm gonna be part of the team, what's the team? What's y'all's name? What's y'all's group name?
Oh no, you can't do this.
We don't have one. Team meetings are due.
Yeah, I just go wide-eyed. We don't have one.
Yes, that was intentional.
The Fantastic Five.
No. Why? You're just joining us for this. Why are you including your...
Well, you can change your name after I leave again and go to 4.
The Fantastic 4 or 5, depending on whether or not Longshot is here today.
I love it. My name is in the title.
He just rubs.
Stryker and her amazing friends. Or his amazing friends.
And he's just like, I had a feeling you would get along with Variable. He was the one in the stupid costume, by the way.
Your Pikachu is adorable.
Hey, my costume was great.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing.
What about Stryker, though? Stryker in that also equally is adorable Badger.
Oh, all the costumes are great, but I mean, Pikachu in a dress, that's just inspired.
I need to drink something that I won't wake up from.
Norman looks at me and says, I mean, Stryker's looking better. He's not sad or, like, blinded by rage, which is his general two instances.
He looks at Norman. No, he's just about to murder all of you. That's definitely an improvement.
It's better than being depressed.
Hey, he does look like a more lax version of angry rather than, like, about to punch angry.
She just sighs and, yeah, I guess it is better.
As y'all are talking, Thomas, your phone goes off.
Yeah, hello?
It's your dad. He goes, hey, are you free? I'm in town. I think probably
Yeah, hey,
we should probably talk.
What's the name of this restaurant that we're at anyway?
Gunther's German Cuisine.
The GGC, as it's called on the street.
The GGC, the original GGC, not the newer GGC up on 25th Street. That's not as good because it's not the original.
But, the cost of eating at the OG one is you're like twice as likely to get shot. It's a sketchy place. There's a reason why there's a new version of it in a safer part of the town.
Okay, yeah, I told him that. Yeah, we're at Gunther's German Cuisine.
Anywhere more private that we can meet up.
Yeah, one sec. I like enough that I'm not talking directly into it, but enough that he probably still hears me say, guys, is it cool if my dad comes to the base?
I would like to speak with him.
I've already had one too many breaches today. I'd rather not have new people.
Stryker looks tense again. He's like, I think we should have him. Somewhere, I don't care.
I like how Thomas didn't think about just going home.
Yeah, no.
Or the
At the
bathroom.
base is the last place I was at, you know?
That isn't a fun new location for his dad.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Where are you?
Well, I'm at the house.
Oh shit, that works too. Okay. I'll be there in a bit.
Okay. I'll be
You
here.
guys want to come meet my dad?
Did you hang up or we?
No, he hung up.
Okay. I was like,
I'm meeting him.
Meet the team and meet the family on the same day? I'm in.
Yeah, Norman sees Stryker say that and says, yeah, we should go. All of us.
Do you call Godfrey to pick you all up, or do you like shadowport around the corner to the house, or?
We should probably call him so he's not just sitting there waiting on us forever, I guess.
That's true. We need to give Godfrey some action.
There's a situation, but I know. Oh God, I don't want to.
Whose lap she's sitting on?
There are seats now, and I already dread how Longshot's gonna solve this issue.
So Godfrey pulls up, and Longshot kind of goes over to Thomas and is like, "Can I call shotgun, or is that yours because it's your car?"
Yeah, go ahead.
And she just goes, "Shotgun!" And she runs to the front seat.
Thank God. He just exhales and relaxes.
As you all pile into the back seat, and Godfrey head you that way, and she's just Longshot surprisingly quiet, just kind of like looking at how nice the car is for most of the ride, and every now and then just punching buttons on the dash that Godfrey kind of slaps her hand away from.
Thank God she's easily distractible. Like a small child, just put shiny baubles in front of her.
Every now and then I poke my head up and tell her, press that button.
And she does, and like sometimes like the defensive screens in the back will drop and go back up when she does, or you hear a whirring sound like from outside that she's like, "Ooh, what's that?" And Godfrey's like, "Stop that!" And then Thomas, it's like the buzzsaws coming out of the tires.
Stryker's just sitting in the back, fucking head in hands. Like, I thought this was gonna be better because I didn't have to deal with her in the same area as me. Very incorrect.
Man, come on, this is the best day.
He pulls up to the house, goes into the garage, and before the cars even like come to a complete stop, she's got the door open. It's like rolling out of the side and springs up to her feet, and shuts the door behind her.
Oh my God, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, I'm assuming you got in next to a door, or are you doing this jumping over some of your teammates?
I probably did not sit next to a door, so I'm definitely climbing over.
Sunroof.
Roll directly engage. Yeah, defying like the odds of anything. Somehow Thomas gets enough momentum and positioning to literally leap over a sitting Stryker and Norman, roll out the door, and spring up to his feet with more physical skill than you've ever seen him have.
That was like the best trip you've ever done.
I just
Why
sit there
were
like you're doing like that the Olympic thing, like when you stick the landing and you've just got your arms out.
Why are you not like this for anything that isn't showy? He just signs and gets out of the car. Like a normal fucking person.
Normie gets out and puts a hand on Thomas's shoulder. Keep it up.
He just gets in the car, and she's just like, "What the hell have I got myself into?"
I don't even say anything. I just give her a finger, guys.
So y'all walk into the house, and Godfrey brings you all to the living room where you see an older man who looks like ridiculously similar to Thomas, like beyond a normal father-son looking. Like they could almost be identical, except one's like 20 years older and has a big old porn stash on his face.
Oh, I see. So Tom's. I understand. The big reveal, like a campaign, like an arc later, that his mom cloned him out of his dad, and they just never had sex, and that's the secret. I can't tell if that's the laugh of like you're crazy or the laugh. Can't believe you got it in one, Travis. Wow, what a good job. Stryker gives a handout to shake.
He shakes your hand, and Andy
He grips it.
Oh,
very hard.
Oh, that's a good grip you've got there.
She puts her
Norman.
hand on Stryker's shoulder.
Don't
We need
worry.
him.
I mean, why did I say Norman?
He just lets him go, lets his hand go, and just says, "I'm Stryker."
That's true. See? Got you to let go. He shakes his head.
Yeah, he just like nods at each of you and just Andy. You can call me Andy.
We'll see.
Yeah, my dad's name is Andy Andrews, by the way.
Right.
And he just turns to Thomas and, "Is he the one I talked to get to meet your mom?"
I mean, it'd be like ultimately a bunch of other people, but yeah, you probably can't get in and talk to those people. So yeah, you would talk to him, and then he would talk to those people.
Thought so. He turns and says, "You better let me meet your wife."
I wasn't able to arrange that. I was able to arrange either I or Thomas can bring in a video device and you can teleconference with her.
He just in and out, tries to focus, and just says, "Fine."
How much do those
I just want
cost,
to
by the
talk to
way?
the woman.
How much do what cost?
The monitors. Just asking.
No, I'm sure it's just going to be some encrypted tablet with a webcam in it.
You see him just weighing the odds in his mind.
How likely is Stryker gonna snap this in half?
So, I guess I don't know. Thomas didn't necessarily tell me everything, but
Well, she's the woman who ruined my life. Just kind of looks at him.
and looks at Fee and then Longshot and which one?
It was me. And she steps up right beside Stryker.
He just kind of sighs, and she was pretty awful back then. Didn't know what she did at the time, but I'm amazed that she could act so normal when she was with me.
People can do a lot of things.
What were you hoping to find out from her?
I don't know why. So much of my life has been determined by a moment I wasn't even in recent memory aware of.
She had us for.
What was that last part? I didn't hear what you said at all.
I said, Fee speaks up. She had us for a week. I need to know what she did.
I never found out what she did. I know that happened after the doctors told us we wouldn't be able to have kids, and then she did that, and then soon after we were blessed with Thomas. So I guess the doctors were wrong.
Pushing the clone, Gary. Thomas is like knock on the mark when the final reveal comes, and I have 20 marks on the wall. I'm the true winner.
Longshot shakes her head like, no, this is good.
Okay. Just making sure.
He kind of like, you see him like just to stay calm, and says, I don't regret the life I've had to lead to keep myself alive, constantly fighting, even killing, so that I didn't die. But if that was all avoidable, parents weren't killed by her, at least I have the right to know why my life didn't get to be that way.
And Fee just sort of slips her hand down to hold his and like squeeze it and give him reassurance.
Yeah, he nods, and I can't possibly imagine what you're going through or what you've been through, but I understand wanting answers, and like I said, we can at least get you the teleconference. There's no way they would let anybody that wasn't myself or Thomas in to visit her.
Well, if nothing else, I guess the government's insistent in being
You cut out there. The government's insistent at what?
Consistent at being a disappointment.
You just don't know it well enough. Longshot pipes up.
He turns. Yes, the ones who let a kid get thrown into an orphanage after his parents gave lives to protect other people, and then just, I guess, lost him so that he got raised by a gang. That's an organization that is 10 out of 10.
Well, I suppose some branches are better than others.
Fee just looks over at Longshot. You're not helping. Maybe just leave this alone.
Okay.
When can I talk to this person?
No. What are you doing tomorrow?
If it's not killing some dipshit caster, I guess that.
We can have it happen tomorrow.
He's just trying to, like, man, he's doing pretty all right. Like, there's a certain wildness that's controlled rather than how he was when he was talking with Godfrey, where it was like all out of whack. But he just is like, fine. It just and like you can feel the tension radiating off of him.
All right, I'll make the call and get it all set up for tomorrow.
And he nods and just says, the rest of you can have your whatever.
Longshot's like, well, we can be there for you. We can. I'll promise not to talk. Just support you.
He nods.
Can you handle
Handle what?
talking without?
Yes.
So is anybody going to, are you just going to do it on your own other than Thomas being there to bring the thing in, or is it going to have everybody kind of around you in the room with you, or what's your intentions?
I think Stryker would prefer to be alone because I mean that's a very personal, sensitive conversation that he doesn't really want everyone like peering in on.
I mean, Fee would probably have some questions of her own, but if Stryker wanted to have his own conversation with her, she'd understand.
And just this once, he even like Fee, he's just like, I want to speak with her alone first.
Fee nods, of course, whatever you want, Stryker.
Out of character, is there anything anybody else would want to do for the rest of the day here, or jump ahead to that meeting?
I mean, if I'm going back home, I'd probably want to talk to my father.
Okay. Thomas?
No, I probably would have just been hanging out for however long they stay.
Okay, and then after that, probably just hang out with your dad a bit or something? Or just kind of leave him alone?
Actually, since the meeting's the next day, I probably would have offered to let Fee and Stryker stay the night if they want.
There's certainly rooms for it.
I think Stryker will nod and stay.
Yeah, Fee will stay as well. She's not gonna let Stryker be alone.
Okay, so as those plans are being made, Longshot's just kind of sulking in the corner, kicking the ground, not saying anything.
Yeah, he says, I'll talk to you after.
Okay.
When we get.
She nods and, can I get a ride home?
Yeah.
You're sitting in the back, ma'am. Fine. Very good. And her and Godfrey head to the garage to take off for him to bring her home. Eventually Norman heads out, and so you head home, Norman. Your dad's there watching the news.
I had a visit from my uncle.
you see him visibly like tense up and he like and like move to like stand up, but a little too fast, and he kind of stops and moves back to the chair. Are you okay?
Yeah, Norman rushes up and yeah, he like we were talking before, everyone has plans for us apparently. He still seems bent on getting these powers back for him. But for now, all he did was tell us about the meat mystic I was talking about earlier. Said they had some sort of vendetta against him.
The meat mystic is the name or the description of what they do?
I'm guessing both, but he introduced them as the meat mystic.
I don't know if I would trust anything he says.
It's what I'm thinking as well, but honestly, it's the only lead we have. And apparently he does exist. We've got some reads on some old Aegis files.
Interesting that we've never come across them in all of the time of the Shade.
Well, it was when we disrupted their job in the Halloween event. Now it seems like their eyes on us. We don't know where they are or what they can do, but apparently it's the reason these meats are coming alive.
Oh, that makes sense. So what's your...
I don't...
Go on.
But that's something we can take care of later. I'm worried about Morningstar.
Where did he visit?
The base.
You just see him get like even more serious than he already was, and I'll have the security completely overhauled, and whatever we learn from how he got in, we'll fix that. If he's...
He came and went.
Oh, was that?
I said he came and went. I don't know. His powers might be getting stronger, or he's just familiar with them.
If he's back in town, then you need to be on guard at all times.
Of course.
He kind of pulls himself up from the chair, and I'm going to get to work on the security right now.
Thank you. For now, I think I'm going to sleep.
Alrighty. Eventually, Godfrey gets home, and he's alone in the car, and he pulls into the garage and just turns the music up, leans the seat back, and Jesus fucking Christ. That girl. Then, inside the house, you hear the sound of a slight horn, then another, then another, then another, that coincides with what if somebody were banging their head on the steering wheel.
Even I have met my match. Is that how I am all the time?
So, next day rolls around, and obviously we know what... Is everybody going to meet up at, like, Thomas's again, and then go wherever they have to, or just the three of them, or... Obviously Longshot's not, but...
I mean, Norman would want to meet up, even though he's going to let Stryker be alone for the conversation, just in case something happens and he loses control. He wants.
Okay, so yeah, y'all all get back to Thomas's house, and from there y'all go and head out to a warehouse that looks, once you're inside, after going through some extensive security, it's clearly a Aegis safe house of some kind, or facility at least. all of you, except for Thomas, are brought into one particular kind of waiting area with another door that leads into the room you'll be able to have your conference with. You are, when you go in there, there is an agent in there wearing this pristine black suit, and we will be monitoring your interactions with the prisoner.
Whatever.
As always, we like give him a finger gun. Just, yep.
And he, with your whatever, he just nods. And Thomas, you're hauled off into another area. You've been to this facility before. They take you into a teleport room, which then takes you to some other facility. You don't know where it's at, in which they then suit you up with all of the normal constraints you have to prevent you from potentially using magic if you have it or not. They still don't seem to be sure about that before you're given the tablet at the next facility you're teleported to before you're teleported into the receiving room at the actual prison, where you're brought into the meeting room where your mom is brought out. She's fully warded up and imprisoned, and we got the glass separating the both of you again still. And she walks up, she sees you and just kind of smiles and looks questioningly at the tablet there, and as she walks up, and I wasn't expecting a visit.
Yeah. Hey, I got some friends that wanted to say hi. Give me like 2 seconds to get this thing set up.
Yeah, it pops up, and when it does, Stryker, you see like a extreme close up of Thomas's face as he's messing with it, and the camera's like right up next to him. You get it turned on, and you see Stryker on the other end, from your end, and assuming you just flip it around for her to see, and she kind of.
I give Stryker like a quick hi, and then just flip it around.
This is unusual. Hi.
Mom, this is Stryker. Is B on the screen too, or is it just Stryker?
Yeah, it's just Stryker.
Okay, Stryker. Mom, this is Stryker. Apparently, back in the day, you kidnapped him and another friend of mine, and yeah, so take it away, Stryker.
And she was just like the look on her face is just kind of like surprise, and then what appears to be like a look of kind of like genuine regret.
And he just says, my name is Solomon. Apparently you killed my parents. Deal bad in Technic night?
Oh, yes, they tried to thwart one of my schemes, and I couldn't have that at the time.
I'm not gonna waste my energy yelling at you. I would be hypocritical. I guess because of you, I've had to dirty my hands as well. I just want to know why. Why you took us. Why did my life get put on this path? Because it only got worse.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you or try to beat around the bush. At the time, I had been informed that I would not be able to have kids, and I refused to accept that, so I sought out some who I could potentially turn into mine.
So, we were all just grabbed at random so you could choose one lottery gift who gets to be the real kid.
well, not at random. You each have something, a trait from your ancestry that was dormant in each of you that gave you a connection to the realms of magic. And of course, any child I had would have to have that connection. So I attempted to activate it in a number of you. Well, in all of you, but didn't take for all of you.
I'd imagine not. I don't have magic.
No, your ancestors did, and you still carry the recessive gene for it. At low expression rate, but it was there. Each of you had ancestry that could be traced back to Atlantis.
He has that kind of laugh. That hollow laugh. Before he relaxes and says, so because I tie back to some stupid fucking city, all this happened.
She just kind of like sadly nods and pretty much, yes. I know there's no excuse for what I did and nothing I can say or do to even begin to remotely make up for it, so I'm just not going to, as I said, beat around the bush and just tell you flatly. I was a horrible, horrible living being. I don't even call myself a human at the time, given the things I did, but that's exactly why it happened, yes.
And you wiped our memories of it? Or is that just the trauma? I can't remember anything.
It may be the trauma. I didn't actively wipe any memories, or it could have been the activation process, maybe block things out. If there were memories wiped, it was not intentional on my part.
Couldn't even remember my name. Just kind of stares and just says, well, at least I got my answers. I'm not going to condemn you. I don't feel like condemning people who are trying to change. He just gets up and he's like, I'm tired. Fee, you can come in.
She walks in.
As you see on the screen, you see his mom's face on there still. And it does appear to be like her eyes are like tearing up, like she's clearly is distraught over what she did. I know it doesn't really necessarily matter in the moment, but that's what's going on with her.
Yeah.
Apparently we're tied to some fucking fish people. Which is why all this fucking happened. Atlantis, I swear to God. Whatever. I got my answers. Apparently, she was just trying to make a child since she couldn't have one.
She looks sort of directly into the camera. Exactly what did you do to us? My dad said you had us for over a week. What did you do?
I just attempted to activate your long dormant magical traits. I seemed to have, at the time, succeeded in some that others didn't take. Infusing your forms with mystical energy to do so.
What happened to the ones that it didn't take? What did you do to them?
When I was thwarted at the time, everyone, to my knowledge, was returned to their families, except apparently for your friend, or maybe others fell through the cracks too. I don't know for sure, but the authorities got all of the children.
Did you do any?
Oh, sorry, go on.
Did you do anything different to any of us? Maybe those of us who showed more promise than others?
You may have been under the infusion, for lack of a better word, longer, since it was clearly taken. But nothing other than that. That sounds awful, I know, but as I told your friend, I'm just going to be blunt about it. I can't change what I did.
She nods, that's fine. We can't change the past. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Did anything else happen while we were in your care? While you had us? Anything unusual beyond your experiments?
Nothing that I noticed. There's a strange world out there. I can't say if anything else did or not, but if it did, it wasn't anything that my magical or mundane senses detected. All seemed to be going to plan until, I suppose, your friend's parents showed up.
She just nods. Did you do anything else after you were thwarted? Check in on us? Continue to use magic on us?
No, it was soon after that point, that within the next couple of years I turned myself in anyway, but beyond that I knew at that point that Aegis or even other organizations had you under watch at the time, in case I did return, and that was a thwarted plot, but soon after we were blessed with Thomas anyway, so none of you were needed by me.
Okay. I don't have any other questions for you.
She just kind of nods, and I know it probably doesn't matter, but I am sorry for everything I did.
He nods. Stryker, do you have anything else you want to ask?
He thinks and just says, did they have any last words?
If they did, I didn't hear it over the sounds of the energies I was unleashing on them.
Fair enough.
They did put up a hell of a fight, though. Nothing I would have expected from non-magical opponents. Your mother's technology was amazing, for the time especially.
He nods and then kind of, I guess, gestures to someone that he wants to leave the room.
The agent just kind of nods to you and looks at Fee. And anything else you need to say, ma'am?
No, I think we're good.
He nods and turns off the device from this end, or from his end rather, and shows you out to the door where Norman and Andy are waiting. Back in the prison with the monitor off, and your mom and Thomas is just just kind of quietly crying and just apologizing, like kind of profusely to you for what she did to your friends before they were your friends, but still.
And I'm not even allowed to go hug her. Great.
I mean, you're not even allowed to do that in a regular prison.
Well, yeah, fair. Yeah. I know, it just sucks. I put a hand on the glass. It's like the closest I can get. But I put a hand on the glass and just say, I love you, Mom.
She does the same and just, I love you too. I'm sorry for just not being able to be there because I was so awful for everything I did.
It's okay.
So that wraps up, and she's shuffled off, and you're shuffled back, and probably takes you another 10 minutes to get back for everything, while y'all are out in the room with Norman and Andy. Andy just kind of has a concerned look on his face, and did you get what you needed?
Yeah. Shit, I should have told her you were here to say hi.
Oh, he's asking that to Fee and Stryker. Thomas, you weren't there yet, Thomas.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying I was back there. Never mind.
There's about 10 minutes from them coming out of the room before you get back.
He just nods.
I mean, I guess it's the the best I'm gonna get. Life feels like a bad joke.
Well, you got out of there without breaking any government property.
Oh yeah, the government property was truly the one that had the most to lose there.
She just sort of shakes her head at Norman.
You're getting better, is all I'm saying.
He shrugs.
It's a few minutes pass before Thomas comes walking back in. It's a pretty somber tone in the room when you get there.
So who wants ice cream? I know I do.
Your dad just kind of shakes his head and just... You still haven't learned to read a room, have you?
Hey. I can.
He just kind of nods and... Well, since he proposed it, ice cream? He says kind of awkwardly.
He just nods. He's like, you know what, fuck it.
Fine. Sounds fine.
Yeah. Norman grins a little bit when Stryker, and then nods as well.
So y'all head out, where Godfrey's waiting outside, and just told where y'all are heading, and very good, as he takes off for the nearest ice cream parlor, and we'll go ahead and call it there.
Fun times for everyone.
You get emotional trauma, and you get emotional trauma, and you get emotional trauma.
Everybody gets emotional trauma.
I'm glad to hear that out of all the kids, Stryker did actually get it the worst. Also, with the trauma, apparently, he didn't have any memories whatsoever, let alone of the week. Apparently, anything that came before it either.
I mean, they were.
Oh, no, yeah, go ahead.
I'm thinking this happened when they were like 2 years old, so most people don't have their first memory till they're 5.
Yeah, I mean, it was super young, yeah, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Because Fee's 17, Stryker 16, Thomas is 15.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, that newspaper clipping had a tiny little toddler hanging onto his dead parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happened. You're right around the 2 to 3 year old age.
Yeah.
Feels great. Good times
Yeah.
all around. Still keeping to that comfortable quota of Stryker getting fucked in a new way every session. Now it's just like, man, your life got ruined for the most arbitrary fucking reason imaginable. You're a descendant of someone who lived on Atlantis, apparently. Congratulations. You get dead parents. And a villain who didn't even have the decency to like hook you up with like a decent actor plan. Just kind of left you by the wayside because you were unneeded.
Well, at least now you're not in constant fear of an evil uncle that wants to destroy everything you've ever worked for.
I'd rather have that, honestly.
Who can just teleport, I guess.
Yeah, it looked like he was traveling, or it sounded like he was traveling through like the electricity.
Yeah, he was traveling as light through the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, turn off your nightlight or he might just stab you in the back while you sleep. Who knows?
Because at least the enemy is clear.
And bright.
Yeah, and you can punch it. Like, fuck, man, none of Stryker's issues he can actually do anything about. Because most of them have already occurred.
So
Like,
I'm not going.
you can beat an uncle and then that be resolved. But his dead parents are always going to be dead. Like, there's no victory state. There's just acceptance and moving on.
Yeah.
But you have some answers.
I mean, yeah, he does. He has that, which is more than he had at the beginning of the session. I'm trying to figure out where his roadmap is from here. Might try to be more like his parents.
Dead?
Yeah.
God, I was about to say it.
You got it in one. I'll make sure to try to go to college first, though, to perfectly line up everything.
Oof. Oof.
I'm a big winner. Well.
End of session.
End of session.
Yep. Trying to figure out which one of those.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Grew close in a long shot.
I mean, honestly, like, that's probably, but I mean.
I mean, true, I guess. Sure.
But
All Letter has influence over me. I'm just giving myself a potential.
all right, who's next?
I mean, I feel like I stayed at an appropriate distance from the team.
I mean, you can always grow into your own image. You came in contact with the arch nemesis.
I guess so.
Which the realization of who was in the chair was like an amazing moment.
That was pretty awesome.
It was so
I'm just
fun.
like, oh, there's a weird light over there. Oh, it's a guy. Oh shit, it's a guy in my room. He shouldn't be here. Oh shit, it's the guy in my room.
It's that guy. Oh shit.
Like, oh man, gotta hide my face. Wait a second.
Yeah, that did not click at all. It was so far detached from like the meat murder mystery that we've been going through that I was like, nah, it couldn't be. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna grow into my own image. The image of me completely missing my only attack against my family's rival. I have no idea.
Maybe danger down since you did not properly engage.
Either that or definitely superior. Holy shit, you assessed that situation so wrong.
The thing is, superior's at -2, danger's at -1. I'm gonna be neutering myself so bad.
Mundane down. Some pretty surreal stuff going on.
Yeah.
That's true, but the whole session, I mean, he was trying to trip Stryker a little bit.
I mean, but you were doing a bad job of it.
I mean, it worked.
I mean, out of character, being honest, it was mostly long shot because he does, I think, like her. I don't know. I haven't hit down his feelings yet. But, you know, you did have the thing where you're like, at least you didn't break the government and, like, it was like, ooh, man, you read that room wrong. So, like,
You know,
I was just like literally like a week ago, a very similar situation happened. You punched a man in the face until he exploded. So, I mean, it is a step.
yeah, but
And I feel
that's
like
not
that
like
would be fresh in your mind.
feel better in that.
that was a hot dog man. That doesn't
No,
count.
no, the old man that was behind the death of your brother, which was another similar situation. He was just like, okay, punch in the face. At least this time he didn't.
Hey,
Snap.
you called her a bitch and then wanted to eat her. I had the best response in the group.
No, that's true. I'm saying that this time you came face to face with the people who apparently murdered your parents and kidnapped you, and you didn't
I mean,
punch
yeah, I guess
something. So
I didn't try to, like, punch myself into the internet through the wire, come out and kill her.
listen,
Man, what kind of role would that have taken?
A moment of truth if you're doomed, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I'll finish the tragic circle and, like, have him awaken to his powers and just change my playbook to Doom. So then he'll also die.
alright.
All wins, all happy. What are you doing for your thing, variable?
Well, I got my secret origin, so I guess I grew into my own image.
Yeah, a clone of your dad. We got
Fuck you.
it. Don't worry, man. I got you.
God, my labels are so fucked, I don't even know what to move at this point. Freaking danger are both 3, superior and mundane are -2, and savior is 1. Right?
Freak down. You were just kind of being this today. You know, you talked to your mom, you talked to your dad, had a lot of emotional moments, and didn't really use your powers that aggressively.
That's fair. If you remove the fact that we're superheroes, I was just a regular kid today.
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
So there you go. I thread the needle on that one.
You did fail to make a meat become a human because it wasn't a human.
Oh, but if he had failed, it still would have come to life.
I thought it already came to life, and he was trying to.
No, he was trying to check if it was alive by turning it back into a person.
Oh, so that's way different than what I thought. I thought it had eyes, and he tried to change it into a person,
No.
but it wasn't a person.
No.
Okay, so that's way different.
And so if he had failed, he would have made a little bacon boy or something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He was like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking see if I can reverse Deus Ex Machina. These bacon are people. And he was like, this is probably not gonna work because he didn't even verify that they were people.
Well, and I wanted him to roll it because I expected him to fail like most of his magic rolls go, and so he'd have to deal with the living bacon boy he created.
Oh, that would have been something. Oh.
This session would have been very, very differently.
Oh, yes.
I would have had to slaughter my creation and bury it out back and then just never speak to anyone of it again.
How was your day? Fine.
It was fine. It was
good.
Fee.
I'm going to say that I sort of grew into my own image of myself since I found out why I was kidnapped and how I got my powers.
Apparently the only winner here. You got the water powers. She won. Happy?
Not really, no.
Why not? You get to have water powers. Everyone wants superpowers, don't they? What's a couple weeks of, a week of kidnapping and years of emotional trauma hidden underneath?
Oh, and the fact that said water powers, end up causing her brother to die? Yeah, it's fine.
That's semantics, a little bit. Can't make an omelet without breaking a few children.
Don't you watch Once Upon a Time? Magic always comes with a price.
Really bad decisions.
Oh. Alright, I'm going to shift mundane down one and I guess superior up one?
Sure. That is indeed one of the options you can choose.
You're not helping, but okay.
You said it yourself. She came out the best.
I mean, that's the thing, is that my freak can't go any higher, which would have been my default, would have been, oh, well, I'm superpowered now, up the superpower one.
I like how your end result from all this is, I see. I am now more superior to the human race as an Atlantis race.
Not really, but she has a better understanding of herself and where her powers come from.
The water has set me free. I am like Ariel, the little mermaid. A daughter of Poseidon.
Oh,
Not quite.
Ariel for Halloween.
What?
She was a mermaid!
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah, that's right.
her father
Specifically.
her father was Triton, who is the grandson of Poseidon. So you still are a direct line in that.
God.
Yeah, mythology stuff.